Hello, friends. In this occasion, we would like to give you some information about content analysis. So, pay attention if you want to get some knowledge from us. We are from Group 4. There are Bella, Karunia Rohma, Evan Kani Latifani, Raida Imro'atul Afifah, and Silviana. Well, in this slide, I would like to give you some explanation about content analysis. So, what is content analysis? Content analysis is usually associated with the study of inscription content in published reports, newspaper adverts, books, web pages, journals, and other form of documentation. It is also a research method applied to written or visual materials for the purpose of identifying specific characteristics of the material. This association of content analysis with text and documentation is further underlined in modern textbooks discussion of the method. So there is a researcher, namely Weber. Weber sees the purposes of content analysis as including the coding of open-ended questions in survey, the revealing of the focus of individual, group, institutional, and societal matters, and the description of pattern and trends in communicative content. The latter suggestions indicates the role of statistical techniques in content analysis. Indeed, Weber suggests that the highest quality content analytic or analysis studies use both qualitative and quantitative analysis of text. So sometimes it is used to describe both quantitative and qualitative approach to analyzing content. There are some purpose of content analysis in educational research. The first point is to identify bias prejudice of propaganda in textbooks. The second point, to analyze types of error in students' writing. The third point is to describe prevailing practice. The fourth point, to discover the level of difficulty of materials in textbooks or other publication. The fifth point is to discover the relative importance, interest in certain topics.
So next is how to conduct content analysis. So there are 5 steps in conducting a content analysis. First one is identify data sources. Second is develop categories. Third, code data. Fourth, assess reliability. 5, analyze result. So the first is identify appropriate data sources is based on research question. So we also have to consider sources and format of the information as well as its validity and reliability. We can take the data from a speech, document like short journal articles, and paragraph. Then we decide unit of analysis or items to be coded. Then we decide the sample of the selection items to be analyzed, which the sample is used in order to obtain a representative sample of the document. Second is develop a category related to the research question or the theoretical framework. So we establish decision rule as to whether items should be coded to one category or multiple categories based on preliminary review of data. Then we consult the categories with our advisor or other analyst. Then we can refine the categories or defining specification about what should be included or excluded. Then we can check the clarity of the categories by doing test a few items as a that may be ambiguous or still need further clarification. Number 3 is code data. Coding is the transcribing, recording, categorizing, or interpreting of given unit of analysis into terms of data language so that they can compare and analyze. After that, then we decide about how many analysts will code the data. If 2 analysts independent code the same data, one analyst will code the data using the same and obtain consistent result, and the other analyst will verify code data. Then we define categories by using tools categories like Excel or NVivo. Or we can use the highlighting overlapping data with special interest. Number 4, assessing reliability. Upon completion of coding, we also assess iterated reliability. Reliability should be assessed to see how often the coders agree. You can use Pearson test, and you can ask the supervisor or other analysts to assess the reliability of the analysis, which you can have 2 or 3 coders. And afterward, you can revise the categories if needed to lead which category is most appropriate. Number 5, the last is analyze the result. We can count the frequencies and use appropriate tests depending on the research question. If you can use discuss themes that emerge, or you can analyze and criticize the theory that you use in categories theme, what is missing in the theory or what can be omitted in the theory.
This is example of content analysis. First, teaching content analysis to Harry Potter. Second, content analysis of journal article on Wiki Science Direct database. And then trend in educational research, a content analysis of studies published in International Journal of Instruction. Teachers' professional development, a content analysis about the tendencies in studies. Content analysis research and examinations applications with direction to improve research reliability and objectivity. 6. The palatability of sugar-sweetened beverage taxations, a content analysis of newspaper coverage of the UK sugar debate. And the last, framing climate change, an analysis of the content of mainstream Chinese newspaper from 2005 until 2015.
Advantage and disadvantage qualitative content analysis. Unobtrusive data collection. We can analyze communication and social interaction without the direct involvement of participants. So, our presence as a researcher doesn't mean influence the results. Second one is transparent and replicable. When done well, content analysis follows a systematic procedure that can easily be replicated by other researchers, yielding results with high reliability. Third is highly flexibility. You can conduct content analysis at any time, in any location, and at low cost. All you need is access to the appropriate sources. And then disadvantage of content analysis. Number 1 is reductive. Focusing on words or phrases in isolation can sometimes be overly reductive, disregarding context, nuance, and ambiguous meanings. Subjective. Content analysis almost always involves some level of subjective interpretation, which can affect the reliability and validity of the results and conclusions. The third and the last, time intensive. Manually coding large volumes of text is extremely time consuming
and it can be difficult to automate effectively. According to Pitt in 2003, a good qualitative researcher cannot avoid the time-consuming work of returning again and again to the data to check whether the interpretation is true to the data and the features identified are corroborated by other interviews. Yes, I think that's all about our explanation in this material. Um, Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.